Alrighty. Hey, good morning, everybody. How are you doing? Whew. FOMC day today. What does that mean? Well, 2 p.m. We've got the Fed rate change announcement. Everybody's kind of broadly expecting a quarter-point raise, but that puts us above the rate, the market rate. I was talking about that last night during the 30 Minutes of Awesome, and let's jump into it, shall we? So we have disclaimer. All trading involves a substantial risk of loss. Don't risk money you can't afford to lose. Past performance of me and the markets not necessarily indicative of any type of future results. This presentation, informational, educational, fun, not a recommendation to buy or sell anything. If you desire that personal financial advice, hire and consult a financial advisor. So I missed one last night. George was asking for AI, and I just missed it in the chat. Looks like we have resistance coming up right up here at that prior high around 23. Coming up strong. Looks like a nice little gap up today, about 40 cents. So this thing's going to put it right up into that resistance. Be careful on that one. Clearing that, looks like we could get a bounce down potentially. Could glance off of that, meet the roadmap line, and then go higher. So watch out for that one. And if it does just break out, like, it's got a long way to go to find some more resistance up here. All right, moving on. What I was talking about there, the Fed funds rate, looks like we're going to raise a quarter point. That puts us above the market rate, although we are getting a little pop here. What's going to happen? I'm not sure. The market rate could go on a tear, and then the Fed's going to keep raising rates. So they're always chasing this rate. If you thought the Fed was setting the rates for the market, you're full of it. They're actually chasing the rates that are set by the market. So they waited a little too long here, and now they've been playing catch up, and that's why we did some big rate raises, lots of them right in a row. I don't know. We cross it though, it usually creates a financial crisis of some sort in the market. Happens every time, starting back here in 2000, and we did it again here around the housing crisis in 2006, 2007, 2008. And we did it again right here, this little mini freak out in 2018, 2019, right around Christmas time, 2018. And we're staring down the barrel of doing this cycle once again. So we don't learn our lessons. The Fed thinks they're above it all. They think they're the bee's knees, but the market rates set these things. So this is the 2-year Treasury in blue versus the Fed funds rate. That's just Fed funds on here. So if you weren't aware, you can just type in Fed funds and get the Fed funds rate right there. So moving on, what's cooking today? Well, ES, pop down to the 5-minute and blow it up so we can see it. Just hanging out right in here in this zone. Between 40.70 and 40.87, I have no bias. This thing can break down, it can break up. You know, we poked out the top. When we first got up here yesterday, we poked down. I thought we were going to go right back down, but then we did this crazy like short squeeze thing and popped right up through the top at 40.87. And then right as soon as the market closed, we went right back in between those levels, and we're just parked it right in there. Parked it all night. That gives me no directional bias for today. Now, if we drop, the market opens here in 12 minutes or so, and we start dropping, and we drop all the day into the FOMC announcement at 2 p.m., I'm thinking we're probably going to pop. And if we start breaking out higher and running into the FOMC announcement, we're probably going to drop at 2 p.m. So just be careful. If we just go sideways, it's a big old coin flip. Like, I'm not sure. I give a little more bias to going to breaking out higher, but if we just go sideways till 2 p.m., I'm not sure. The market could go up, could go down. Now, come in tomorrow, and we'll find out what I have to say, post-mortem on this announcement. But right now, that's kind of what it's looking like. The reason I'm a little more biased is because NQ, a little more biased long on the bullish side. RTY, showing that breakout above all the consolidation highs yesterday. So both of these other two are indicating that we're slanting a little bullish. Now, NASDAQ coming up right to the highs it had from December. Got a long ways to go to the August highs. ES just sitting right below the highs it made from back here. Let me zoom it up here so we can see what I'm talking about, not just hear me. So right there, we made a high in November, a high in December. Right, this was CPI and FOMC right there, and we plummeted out. So now here we are again, right at the same level. What's going to happen? This one may break out. I don't know. It's not, we're just consolidating right there at the resistance. That's typically what happens right before we break out higher, but we don't have to. We can retrace once more. I mean, this would be we came up really strong here, and a retrace and retest of that trend line break would be in order like that. So just watch out. Don't be overly biased long or short. I mean, it's gambling at this point. Be careful. All right. Now, dollar looks just consolidating right here at this support. I do kind of expect a little pop. This would be consistent with the market pullback and then drop on down to some further levels. So watch for that to happen. This would be consistent with the market rally too. Dollar tends to drop when the market rallies. So things moving. MSGM. Look at that pop. 61. It was 20 yesterday, 61 this morning. That thing, that's a bubble. Be careful. Don't jump on that. Like don't be thinking that like that's the next big thing right there. That's the next big bubble is what that is. So be careful on that. If you got profit, if you were in that, definitely consider booking some profit here. Can it go higher? Well, sure as crap it can go higher, but it's dangerous, super dangerous. I mean, pull up GME, pull up, look back here. Look at this thing. I mean, it went on a monster run, right? But then it came on a monster drop right back down. And then it's been just dropping off ever since. Like it's never been that high again. So be careful on these bubble things. Another one would be TLRY, Tilray. Look at that one. Did it a couple times. Like giant run there, drop out, giant run again, drop out. And now it's worth $3. So be careful on these. And that was very corrective looking too for a lower low. It hadn't quite made it yet. All right, AMD, zoom this back up where we can see something happening here. And look at that. Earnings pop right after hours yesterday, beating on the top and bottom. I told y'all, I mean, if you've been watching me the last few weeks, I've been pretty hyped up on GPUs and AI stuff. Like AMD and NVIDIA, NVIDIA leading out just a little bit on the AI stuff. But AMD's chips run AI also. And AMD works a lot of deals in the background. Like their chips are in Nintendos, they're in Steam Decks, they're in all these portable game things. They're in PlayStations, AMD works these deals and they're in millions of devices that we use all the time, whether you realize it or not. It doesn't have the AMD inside sticker on it, but their Ryzen platform is arguably slightly better than Intel's. So that's why Intel's getting punished and AMD is on the upswing here. Plus they make GPUs. Intel is struggling to get some GPUs that are worth anything. So AMD, NVIDIA, both on a nice upswing. Snap after hours getting slammed. This is let me zoom it up so we can see the big red candle. I mean, look at that. Getting slammed down. This could come back up to 10 or so, but I would watch out below on Snap. They don't make any money. I mean, they don't make any money, and they lost more money than they thought they were going to lose, and their guidance was for making losing even more money. So that's I don't know how you can be bullish on Snap. It just doesn't make any sense. Piton, look at that. Even though they lost money, surprised to the downside on the top number and beat on the bottom number. I don't know. Can they survive? I mean, that looks pretty bad on Peloton, even though they're popping up. Peloton. Edible. This one, let's see. Just looks like some morning hype right up to the resistance and dropping back potentially. Be careful. That one can come right back down. Meta's moving. Looks like it dropped in sympathy of Snap and coming right back up to into the range where it was yesterday. They have their earnings coming up today. So that one will be that was a big caution. So that'll come out tonight after all this settles with the Fed. Yeah, it's really a coin flip right now. Fed can take this down and then they have good earnings and they come right back up, or we could start blasting off and then they could come back down. Be careful on Meta. NVS, look at that drop. Woo! Beating on the top, not on the bottom, and getting slammed. Wow, that's yeah, that's they're going down, down in a blaze of glory right there. EA also getting slammed here. Looks like they beat on the top, not on the bottom, and their outlook must have been poor to get that kind of punishment. So be careful on that one. I would not bet on a recovery. VTNR, nice pop there. Looks like we're above all the resistance that's been reasonable lately and potentially running. So, all right, MO, nice pop there. Looks like they beat on the top, not on the bottom. I mean, when you're making billions of dollars in a quarter, must have had a pretty good outlook too. That's positive for MO, and that's, yeah, look at that. Probably come back up here to around 48. That crazy candle was the market meltdown day where the prices didn't happen correctly. I would watch for resistance right here. Breaking out from there, we can go higher. And yeah, that one got beat down last year, and it's got a long way to go to the upside. Put it back in there, and that is somewhat bullish there. So break back above 50, this 50-51 area, we could go out to a new high up here at 61, 67. So TMO looks like that is expensive stuff right there, and we've got resistance. 1, 2, 3, 4 tops right there. Gonna have to break out above that to get any kind of upside going on TMO. Baidu, big mover, pre-market. Look at that. Went from 134 to 145. That one can break out and go higher. Now looking at that daily chart, we do have resistance right there. Look at these, 4, 5 times right there. We'll have to get through those highs. My line a little crooked. And we touched that once, twice, 3, 4, 5 times right there. So that'll be the resistance. Watch out for a reaction down. If we break above that, back up, back up through 160 or so, this thing can start moving higher in a meaningful way, not just plummeting out. So Mercury Systems looks like a nice huge pop on that one. That one's moving. Let's look at the 5-minute. Not much data, just a giant pop up. Looks like earnings were horrible. Disappointing on the top and the bottom, but still launching off. So no idea what's going on there. You'd have to go dig in deeper. That's not what I do. So C-Web looks like China 2 times bull. That's probably up on Baidu. And Match.com, or whatever Match does these days. Looks pretty bad. Looks like a victim like Snap. Disappointed on the bottom and the top. They do make money though, so not entirely horrible, but they disappointed and probably guided down. But yeah, I don't know. That could recover, but if they're guiding down, like, it can definitely retrace further. Get more. Yeah. Gonna do the wave 2 retrace. That's what that looks like right there. probably come down to this area. Right in there. Which is close. So watch for that move right there. COF. Getting slammed back. Probably come back and retest the roadmap line here. Something like that. Right there. Alright. And waste management. Looks like the last one on my list for moving. And they disappointed on the top and bottom. But they do make money. And so I have not worked for Waste Management, but I've worked for Waste Corporation of America, WCA. Wow, that oh, the market's open. Ding ding ding. And more drop. So where can it go? Well, that one looks like it's been sideways and it's going to come right back down to these lows. So all right, the market's open. Let's go see what happens, shall we? Good luck out there. This one looks like it's going to come right back down, retest these lows. Breaks below that, it can extend lower. So, all right. Cool, everybody. Hope you have a safe trading day. Remember, 2 p.m. That's when the big announcement is. That's when the fireworks start. And remember, my expectation, if we drop into it, we might pop. If we run into it, we might drop. So be careful, everybody. Be careful, be careful. The account you save may be your own. And yeah, there's lots of money in garbage. I've made, our engineering company's made a lot of money off of garbage. Running, we did the engineering work for 3 landfills in Knoxville, so for a long, long time. Anyway, have a great one out there, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow morning, where we find out what happened in this FOMC thing, and I'll give you my take on where we're going from there. So see you again tomorrow. Have a great day. If you're in Discord, keep asking questions. We'll see you.